Have you ever felt your heart beating faster during a difficult moment and wondered if your body was trying to tell you something important? Imagine sitting quietly in a room where nothing dangerous is happening, yet your chest feels tight, your thoughts move quickly, and an invisible pressure begins building inside you. There are no alarms, no storms outside your window, and no immediate threat standing in front of you, but your body reacts as if danger has arrived. Most people think stress only lives in the mind. They believe stress is simply a feeling, an emotional burden that disappears after a good night's sleep or a relaxing weekend. But what if stress is more than a temporary emotion? What if stress quietly travels beyond your thoughts and enters the deepest systems of your body? What if something invisible slowly begins speaking a language that your blood vessels and heart understand very well? These questions matter because millions of people wake up every morning carrying worries they never discuss. They carry financial pressure, family responsibilities, emotional pain, uncertainty about the future, and silent fears that never leave them. Life has a way of placing weight on human shoulders, and many people become so familiar with that weight that they stop noticing they're carrying it at all. The human mind is remarkable because it can adapt to almost anything, but the body keeps records in a different way. While the mind learns to normalize stress, the body may continue responding as if a battle never ended. Deep inside you, stress hormones can begin moving through your bloodstream with a purpose that once protected human survival. Thousands of years ago, this system was designed to help people escape danger, run from predators, and survive immediate threats. The body was created with an emergency response mechanism, a powerful system that increases alertness and prepares every muscle and organ for action. The problem is that ancient biology now lives in a modern world where danger often looks different. Today, many people are not running from wild animals. Instead, they are running from deadlines, emotional burdens, endless notifications, lack of sleep, and constant mental pressure. The body does not always understand the difference. To your biology, stress can still sound like an emergency alarm. Your heart may beat faster, your blood vessels may tighten, and your blood pressure may begin to rise. This process can happen repeatedly, day after day, without dramatic symptoms that demand attention. That quiet reality is what makes stress difficult to recognize and dangerous to ignore. Dr. Evan Levine often emphasizes the importance of understanding heart health as something connected not only to medicine, but also to everyday life choices and human behavior. There's a deeper lesson hidden inside that idea because health is not built only in hospitals or laboratories. Health is also built during ordinary moments, during the thoughts you carry, the habits you repeat, and the emotional burdens you accept as normal. Sometimes the most important threats are not the loud ones that arrive suddenly. Sometimes they're the silent ones that slowly become part of your everyday life. There is something unsettling about invisible things because human beings naturally pay attention to what they can see. People notice a broken bone because pain demands attention. They notice a wound because blood creates urgency. They notice smoke because it warns them about fire. But stress rarely announces itself with dramatic signals that force immediate action. Instead, it often enters life quietly and stays quietly. It becomes a normal companion sitting beside people during breakfast, following them during work, and waiting beside them before they sleep at night. Days become weeks, weeks become months, and months become years. Somewhere during that journey, something begins changing beneath the surface. Stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol were never designed to remain elevated for endless periods of time. They were intended to rise quickly, protect you, and then return to normal levels after danger passed. Yet modern life often creates a different pattern, where the body receives a message that danger never completely disappeared. Imagine repeatedly squeezing a garden hose every day for long periods of time. The pressure inside the hose starts changing because resistance continues building. Your blood vessels can experience something similar when stress repeatedly tells the body to stay alert. Blood vessels may narrow, heart rate may increase, and blood pressure can rise as your system remains prepared for a threat that may not even physically exist. At first, this process may seem harmless because the body is remarkably strong and adaptable. Human beings survive difficult circumstances all the time. The body compensates, adjusts, and continues moving forward. That is why people often convince themselves everything is fine. They say they're simply tired, simply busy, simply dealing with life. But this is where an important question begins to appear, and it is a question that creates an uncomfortable kind of silence. What happens when stress stops being an occasional visitor and becomes a permanent resident? What happens when the body remains in a state of quiet preparation year after year? Here is where the hidden truth begins revealing itself. High blood pressure is often called a silent condition because many people never feel it happening. They can laugh, work, travel, and live ordinary lives while changes slowly develop inside their cardiovascular system. The frightening reality is not that stress suddenly attacks the heart during one difficult afternoon. The deeper concern is that stress can create a chain of repeated biological reactions that quietly continue over time. Imagine standing near the edge of a shoreline where waves keep striking the rocks again and again. One wave alone seems harmless. 10 waves seem harmless. Even 100 waves may seem harmless. But eventually constant pressure begins reshaping solid stone itself. Human health sometimes works in a similar way. The greatest changes are not always caused by one dramatic event. They are often created by repeated moments that appear too small to matter individually. Somewhere right now, someone is carrying stress without realizing that an invisible process may already be unfolding inside their body. And perhaps the most unsettling part of all is that they may feel completely normal while it happens. The good news hidden inside this conversation is that understanding a problem is often the first moment real change becomes possible. Human beings sometimes fear health discussions because they believe every warning leads to hopelessness. But awareness is not the same as fear. Awareness is the light that enters a dark room and finally allows someone to see where they are standing. Stress may influence the body in powerful ways, but the body also possesses an extraordinary ability to recover, adapt, and heal when given the opportunity. Think about nature for a moment. A tree facing strong winds every day can become damaged, but when storms pass and conditions improve, growth begins again. Human beings are not machines created to remain under constant pressure without rest. Every heartbeat inside your chest exists within a living system that responds to balance. The heart does not simply react to medications or medical procedures. It also reacts to sleep, movement, relationships, thoughts, nutrition, breathing patterns, and emotional experiences. Sometimes people imagine health as a destination far away, something difficult and complicated hidden behind impossible routines and dramatic life changes. But health often begins through small decisions repeated consistently. A person may decide to walk a little more each day. A person may decide to sleep earlier, breathe more deeply, step away from constant mental noise, or create moments of stillness within a world that never seems to stop moving. These choices may appear small, but repeated actions create powerful outcomes over time. Remember the waves striking the rocks again and again. The same truth works in the opposite direction as well. Small positive actions repeated consistently can slowly reshape the future. Dr. Evan Levine often encourages people to think beyond temporary symptoms and understand a larger story surrounding heart health. That idea carries a lesson extending far beyond medicine, because every human life tells a story through habits and patterns. The body listens to the story people repeat every day. It listens when stress becomes endless. It listens when exhaustion becomes normal. But it also listens when healing begins. Perhaps the hidden truth was never simply about stress raising blood pressure. Perhaps the deeper truth is that people become so busy surviving life that they forget to protect the very heart carrying them through it. There is a strange reality about life because people spend years chasing goals, responsibilities, and achievements while assuming there will always be more time later. Yet health quietly waits in the background, asking for attention long before emergencies arrive. The purpose of understanding stress is not to create fear. The purpose is to create awareness that allows people to make different choices before invisible pressures become visible problems. Your heart works every second without asking for applause, without asking for recognition, and without asking for rewards. Maybe today is the right moment to finally listen to what it has been trying to say all along. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.